So, Creevix, why here? Why this room? The doctor clicked the Ovid stabilizers together. Energy arced between them and he held them apart. The bottom drawer of the filing cabinet slid open and a large blue-grey stone hovered upwards. Chivers rubbed his chin.
I always wondered what that was. The chap before me left it. He couldn't even lift it.
That chap was Dr. Reynard, Unit's geology expert. He never liked me. That me, anyway. I get on with everyone. I knew he'd leave it in a cupboard. It was bigger then. 40 years on and 1 billion miles from home. The Tharasite's condensed, but still just as heavy and earthed. It's what's keeping us stable. The doctor jiggled the psychokinetic rods, and the rock floated towards the time machine. What's more, he said gleefully, it's a great, big rock. The doctor flicked the rods, and the stone smashed into the capsule. The glass frontage shattered, its engine housing crushed. Splinters of blue time core glinted in the wreckage. The machine's outline blurred, and its whole essence faded from reality. Every structure has its stress points that cause collapse, the doctor explained. I just did the opposite with the temporal universe. You think potential space-time you're consuming is linear, C follows B follows A, amateur mistake, but you're busy scoffing pancakes but you've never seen a chicken lay an egg. Causality is a massive join the dots with a room for a Da Vinci between every line. And you know what I've stuffed in the gaps? An omni-paradox. Inside the TARDIS. It's been holding the USA together since the 15th century, thank you, Perry, but don't worry about that now. What it means is, my ship can break free and find a way back. And here she is. Chivers gripped Alice's arm as a spinning blue police box hovered transparent in the air above them. Alice beamed, and suddenly he didn't feel quite so lost. Clever girl, called the doctor. Not you, Alice, her. Slipping through the time tracks of a history that never existed thanks to that omni-paradox. And there she goes, materializing around me in your Creevix-controlled future. Then landing outside, 5 minutes ago. The doctor confronted the Creevix leader. The thunder in the skies of that desolate future was nothing compared to the look Alice saw in his face now. Masters of time? Ha! Rewrite one man's history and the universe changes around you. Pass a foreign country to you, whereas it's all the same to me. Time Lord, you see? He pushed the Creevix in the thorax and it clattered to the floor. Behind it, where the time machine had stood, a black nothingness burned. The other two monsters were already crawling towards it. How does it feel to be like everyone else? The doctor demanded. How does it feel when you don't know what happens next? Personally, it's what I live for. The times, they are a-changing. Get out of this universe! The two Creevix fizzed into nothingness as they reached the hole in reality. Alice, the cube! The doctor yelled. Chuck it in! Alice looked down. The communicator shimmered in her hand like a piece of quartz diamond. She launched it into the void. You bent the rules, Creevix, the doctor glowered. But I tied them up in a neat little bow. That cube, carrying all of its messages to my previous selves, arrives with the bits of the time machine back. When was it, Alice? 11 months ago. And you plugged it into your TARDIS, Alice realized. She hugged the confused professor. Our paradox beats their paradox. The doctor ran a hand through his hair. All the while, the Creevix were dragging us into their trap. They were already in one that I didn't know I'd made. Even for me, that's impressive. The Creevix leader slammed a savage claw into the floor and dragged itself towards the doctor.
You cannot stop.
Bright blue light illuminated the laboratory. Alice and Cedric shielded their eyes as the glow intensified. Then, there was a sickening crack as a time machine solidified on top of the Creevix body. Alice opened her eyes to see the capsule in its corner. The canopy swung open, and a tall blonde man stepped out. Oh. They don't tell you to expect a reception committee, he said in surprise.